What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I got one from Scream Factory, but this was originally the movie was made by Empire Pictures. This was the movie that kind of ended Empire Pictures, but of course they would go on to live on in a way through Full Moon, which is good because I love Empire, I love Full Moon. This one was directed by Stuart Gordon, who did Reanimator, Castle Freak, and a bunch of other cool shit. It's called Robot Jox. If you were my age or maybe a little bit older, this was one you definitely would remember from the video stores. This was a staple, a VHS staple. It's a movie that takes place in a future where war is outlawed, and the only way that countries settle their differences over like territory and resource rights and stuff like that is by getting inside of giant robots and fighting each other. It's kind of like a sport, but obviously there's a lot more on the line, so it's treated like a sport slash just battle of the titans, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, the movie is pretty much just people fighting in these giant robots. There's a lot of political stuff and personal conflicts and whatnot. The story, though, is basically just a rivalry between the main pilot on one side and the main pilot on the other side, and then there's this girl in the middle who wants to prove herself, and so she wants to be the one to fight the bad guy at the end. It's a really fun movie to me, but I have like extreme nostalgia for it because I watched it so much when I was a kid. But I love the special effects in this one. They are hokey. You can see the strings on the mechs and stuff on the miniatures and stuff like that. But it looks cool, and to me, it's 1,000 times more believable than CGI shit like in Pacific Rim. It looks cool. There's just a craftsmanship to it that doesn't come through on CGI, at least in my opinion. I think the movie looks cool. I mean, it's definitely like kind of a B-level science fiction movie, but it's a lot of fun. The robot fights are cool. It's got a bunch of guys in spandex, and it's rated PG, but it's got a bunch of bare asses, which is crazy because now you would never see something like that. I mean, PG is basically what G was back in the 80s. The disc is from Scream Factory, and it's got 2 new commentary tracks and then a combination of new and archival featurettes and interviews and whatnot. I don't know anything about the transfer, but I do know that it looks good. It's not like eye-popping by any means, but it looks good. It's definitely an improvement over the DVD that I had. The movie is fun. It's definitely dated, but I think if you're a fan of Full Moon, you would definitely like this. If you're a fan of mechs, you would like this. And if you're a fan of like miniatures and practical effects, it's also worth a look just because of that. I think they did a great job with the resources that they had, and I think it still holds up. I mean, we live in what I think is the worst era ever for special effects. We're forced to sit through all this CGI, so it's just nice to see that level of craftsmanship and attention to detail in these miniatures. Even though they are hokey and dated, I still think they're a lot of fun to watch. That's pretty much it. I definitely recommend this, and if you're going to buy the movie, you should definitely own the Scream Factory version. You can get it anywhere. Amazon, Shout Factory's website would have it in their Scream Factory section. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a solid movie. If you're my age or a little bit older, it's got a huge nostalgia factor, so that kind of colors my vision of it. This is like a member berries fueled review. I had a lot of fun revisiting, though I hadn't seen it for a few years. That's Robot Jox. If you want to see giant robots fight each other and you want to see a bunch of dudes in tight white spandex, you should check it out. Thanks, guys. I hope I have another review up soon.